Hey guys, now I'm going to make another solution for one of the official questions of data insights. So it's a graph interpretation question where we can see that we have clearly a flowchart right here. Let's just quickly understand how exactly is this flowchart working. So we have to begin from here, then board it between this. So basically maybe something about the train or something. Let's see. A certain city's bus system includes several stops within university campus. The city has devised a new plan to decrease the amount of time that bus driver devotes to receiving payments at the busy university stop. Alright, so here let's just keep taking the notes of things. The city has devised a new plan to decrease the amount of time that the bus driver devotes to receiving payment at the busy university stops. Under the new plan outlined in the diagram, passengers would pay upon entry, pay upon exit, or ride free depending on the time of the day. So there are these three options: either pay upon entry, pay upon exit, or ride free depending upon the time of the day. On their boarding and departure locations, and on whether they present a valid student identification card. Select from the drop down menu which of the following that creates the most accurate statement based on the information provided. So this is a very standard line that you see in most of the graph based questions, so you can just understand what this line means. According to the diagram under the new plan, if a bus passenger, alright, so let's just quickly see the graph. Begin, boarded between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. If yes, then present a valid student ID. If you present a valid ID, then you ride free. So that's how this graph goes. If you don't present a valid ID, that means you board at the university stop. If you boarded at university stop, if yes, then exit at a university stop, yes. And if yes, once again you ride free. But if no, then you have to pay on exit. And if you are boarded, if you're not boarded between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., then you have to just pay on entry. That's how it is. Also, if you're boarded at university stop and if you have not done that, you have not presented a university ID, but you have boarded between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., then you have to pay on entry. So the student ID is basically the important step wherein you decide whether you have to pay on entry or you ride free or pay on exit. Now let's read the statement. If the bus passenger pays on entry, let's start with the first option, right? So the first option is that pays on entry. Then the passenger must not have, if the person is paying on entry, then the passenger must not have boarded at the university stop. Okay, if the passenger pays on entry, then the university may not have boarded at the university stop. That's a possibility. But boarded at university stop, no. Okay, so according to the diagram, pays on entry, then the passenger, if the passenger pays on entry, passenger may not have boarded at the university stop. But this entire graph is for 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. What if someone boards at university stop but beyond this time? If person is going beyond this time, even in that case person has to pay on entry. Therefore pay on entry and the boarded at university stop does not work, right? Pays on entry and presents a valid student ID, that's completely out, because if you present a valid ID, then you ride free. Boarded between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Okay, if the passenger pays on entry, then the person is boarded at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. This is not essentially true, because you don't have to pay every time on entry if you are boarding between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. So this doesn't work out. So pays on entry, I'm just crossing off. Now pays on exit. If somebody is paying on exit, so this is a very peculiar case. The person pays on exit if someone is boarding between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., presents and does not present a valid ID, boarded at university stop, and exiting at not exiting at university stop. So pays on exit, then the passenger must not have boarded at the university stop. No, the boarding of university stop is possible, but if you are not exiting at university stop, then you will have to pay on exit. So boarding is possible, so with the pay on exit, boarded on university stop does not work. Presented a valid student ID. If a bus passenger pays on exit, then the passenger must not have presented Yes, certainly. See, we are coming on this only if the person is not showing a valid student ID, because only after this entire chart gets completed and finishes on pay on exit. So certainly if someone is paying on exit, then that person can definitely not have presented a valid student ID, and therefore my answer to this question will be these two aspects. So in these questions you have to go step by step and then see which exactly two parts are fitting well, so that they are completing a statement which is in line with the given information. I hope you understood this. In these questions, a very important suggestion is that you have to go slightly at a slower pace. You don't have to rush very quickly, because many a times you have to just read this flowchart again and again. For example, even when I solved this question, I possibly looked at this flowchart twice or thrice, but I just had in mind broadly that when exactly someone writes free, when someone pays on exit, and when someone pays on entry. But still, to be very specific to answer the question, I had to read this question maybe more than one time. So that's absolutely fine. It just you have to give appropriate time, and these questions are always doable. I hope you enjoyed the explanation, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe the channel and click on the bell icon. Here you can see the subscribe button. Please click on that. That really helps us reach the maximum amount of audience. Thank you so much for watching this video.